So my name is Sam. I am the general manager here.
And a Rotarian.
And I'm a Rotarian with your club. You may have seen me on mostly the screen. I'm here in person today.
Yes.
And this is my classification talk. Anyways, so on me. I should know this because it was myself. So I was very involved in theater as a young person. I used to tour, even at 10 years old, I would tour shows around the country and before that and after that. But then I got more into the technical production side in sort of early high school, and I would run concerts for the Red Cross and I don't know, other things like flower sales and plays and theater festivals and things like that. In university, I went into technical production. I have my degree in technical production for theater and production management from the University of Alberta. And I was very involved in different theaters there in Edmonton. And then I went to Ontario Place. And on Ontario Place, I just got a job as a production assistant. About 2 weeks later, I was a supervisor, and then I was assistant manager. And I spent about 3 years at Ontario Place doing the Chinese Lantern Festival and a bunch of other festivals. And that one saw about 3 million people, so it was a quite big one and quite nice. And I would do cultural events in the morning, and then the Chinese Lantern Festival at night for entertainment and stuff like that. I then went to, became technical director at a theater called Lighthouse Theater in Port Dover. I spent 5 years there. I was a technical director and production manager after a little bit, and quite enjoyed it. And that's, it was a summer festival in the summer, and then in the winter it'd be concerts and, I don't know, other things, galas and stuff like that. I moved up to this area because I got a job at Thousand Islands Playhouse. I was the production manager there for 3 years. Re-outfitted the space and tried to take it to sort of another level, which we did, and we put about a couple $100,000 into it while I was there, and new speakers, new lighting, all that kind of stuff. Theater can be quite demanding, if anyone's ever worked in theater. It's kind of a it can be like an 18-hour-a-day kind of job when it's really going. So, at the birth of my daughter, I decided to kind of try to look for 9-to-5 type work. So I found a job. Well, I was just taking a break because my daughter was born, and my wife's like, "You have to be home right now." So I found a job during that time, which was maybe not the best thing to do. But so I took a job with the Salvation Army, and we did. I did their kettle campaign, which was quite nice, and we set a record that year. And so the kettle campaign is actually, it's quite complex because you may have 20 venues a day with maybe 5 to 9 shifts per day at that venue. So there's, I don't know, thousands of volunteers. And actually, John, you were a volunteer during our community leadership day. I remember, I think, yeah, I came into like a Loblaws, and I think I said hi to you. I think it was.
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so that went well, and they just asked if I'd stick
Nobody
around.
ever says no to the Salvation Army.
Yeah, they're nice. They can be. There's a whole bunch of them. And so they said, would you just consider staying? And so I stayed there, and I was there for about 2 years, and I was very involved in their thrift stores. I was kind of administrator for the area. And that went really well. And then I met someone from All's Home, and they said, would you come over and just have a conversation? So I went over, had a conversation, and then ended up staying there for 4 years, running their galas and golf tournaments. And we created a thrift store called YGK Thrift on Princess Street. And
The water club.
Sorry?
The waterfront club was collecting clothes.
Yeah, they just did. Yeah, eventually they became quite involved with the thrift store, which was nice. Which was the waterfront club for Rotary. And then some people from here asked if I'd come have a coffee here, and they asked, if I'd be interested in taking on the general manager job. And they said, we need somebody who has technical production experience outfitting facilities with new technical production equipment, and some fundraising would be really helpful. So I said yes, and so I've been here for about 6 months, and that's kind of it. I live outside of town with some chickens and my wife and my children.
Elgin.
Some rabbits, yeah, sort of outside of Elgin, and we have a tiny hobby farm there, and my wife's a librarian technician up in that area. She was a props person, but like me was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of this. So that's kind of it.